Dan is one of the director of Solar for Schools, and we got interested in this idea of working with schools because they were so much easier than working with houses. I just wondered maybe you could just tell us about Solar for Schools just for a second.
So Solar for Schools says it makes the impossible possible. It helps schools that would otherwise not be able to even consider having solar power because they have no capital to actually have a solar power installation. And the way we're able to do that is we raise money nationwide in order to support schools that really want to make a difference and go ahead. And what the schools do is they have no capital expenditure, they have no ongoing maintenance costs, and they pay for the solar that they use. And that's it. I mean, it's very simple, really.
Yeah, and they pay beneath what they would pay, don't they? You sell it to them a bit cheaper.
Absolutely. We try and make sure that they're actually paying less than they are for their existing mains rates. It means that, day one they see a saving, even though they've got no capital outlay. And what Solar for Schools does, which is different from a lot of other organisations, is work with the children and help them, see that there is a vision, that there is a way forward, that, can do something really positive to bring about change. So we have lots of lesson ideas. We link everything to the curriculum and to the teachers. The teachers know best what they want to have for their children. And so we just add in a bit of contextual learning using the solar panels that they've got on their roofs. So it all sort of ties in quite nicely. And so, if we can get the schools involved in your project as well, then, I think that would be really exciting for the children, especially because, that they'll gain so much. They're such advocates for these sort of things. Solar on schools isn't just about gaining energy security, saving some money. It's about that social investment. It's about the children. And that's why we only do solar and we only do it on schools.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah. Do you want to come up, Dan? So we're currently on the roof of Gwyn Jones Primary School, having a look at the roofs here, comparing them against our initial design. It's a chance for the school team to get to know us a bit. It's a chance for us to get to know the school team a bit. I just came over to say one of the things that we've drawn on our plan is a row of panels in between the skylights here and the raised section here, which is probably the school hall. And there's absolutely no way we would fit a row of panels there, and even if we could fit them there, they'd block the windows from opening, and they'd just get horrendous shading from the skylights. So, that's an initial thing that I can say, actually, we shouldn't put them there, we need to find somewhere else to put them. But I'm now looking at the high section here, thinking that's a fantastic area, we probably could put some panels on. So I'll just make a few notes of that, and we can revise the plans.
So coming here has a real... will always have a massive impact between the theory of Google Earth and the reality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Boots on the ground.
Precisely, and that's why we do it. There's a 5 or 6 centimetre deep lake on the top of the school hall.
So what does it look like? Is that roof good then?
It will be when it's drained. That'll be fantastic for putting solar panels on. It's a lovely clear roof, no shading at all, easy access. That'll be perfect. This is a good school for doing.
Where are we now then?
We're currently at Walthamstow School for Girls in their server room, or switch room or something, about to head up onto their roof to have a look. So obviously this is just a initial visit to check that our plans are sensible and all that sort of thing.
Good exercise, isn't it?
Oh yes. That's interesting. So this, from the aerial imagery, looks like a flat roof. But it's not.
Interesting good or interesting bad?
Interesting depends on what the angle is. The steeper the angle, the heavier the mounting system has to become.
Seems like Walthamstow School for Girls could get solar then.
I'm very confident that we can put solar here. Good condition roof. What more could you ask for?
Thumbs up then, is it? Yeah.
Thumbs up from me.
What do you think about that,
Thumbs
David?
up from me.
Are you excited by the idea
I
of
am,
it?
yeah. I mean, what's not to get excited about? It's renewable energy and it's going to save us money, it's the way forward, right?
Everything's looking positive.
Oh, great.
A few tweaks needed. That roof is not quite as flat as I thought it was, but it's well within the bounds of what's possible.
Yeah, it's a little bit wet up here though. There's a good sized roof, isn't it?
It is.
So what's the prognosis up here then, do you?
It looks good. You know, that school hall in the middle will be absolutely perfect because there's no shading on it at all.
What kind of a size system do you think you could fit on this one?
90, 95, 100 kilowatts, something like that. I mean, it would cover a good chunk of the school's electricity usage. We've seen 4 sites, and I think we should have 4 positive outcomes. I hope so.
We're turning the whole borough into a power station.
That would be great, Dan.
I think it's just obviously from what you're saying, the energy crisis is way more acute than I thought. I thought it was like, didn't know that things had gone up 700% in a year. That's crazy.
It is, and I think it's not showing any signs of abating, thanks to the tension between Russia and Ukraine. So we are looking for medium to long term. Like our medium term forecast is minimum 2 years, but we are looking it will go beyond 2 years, because if any escalation of the tension, will gonna shoot up the gas prices all over the world.
Yeah, that was good. So it sounds like the school's going ahead. I just want, like she said, it could be, what was it, between 4 or 7 months. It's like, please be 4. Just please, don't let anyone in this process start making it go slowly. Let's just
Sounds like it's really urgent with the bills going up 700%.
Yeah, and gas. That's gas. I think the electricity was even just 400% or something. But so it just seems like a no-brainer that they should get all the schools like that. But it's great. So now we need to try and get the 2 that we just approached into this batch of schools.
What's so interesting about that is that there's clearly an energy crisis coming into the council, which is actually going to force the bills of the schools up, because of course everyone's energy bills going up. The schools are already squeezed, as we well know, because they've had cuts to their funding. So this is becoming more and more kind of important, what we're doing in a way, against the backdrop of Russia about to invade Ukraine, or seeming very, very close, and also pushing up the energy prices across Europe. What they've been trying to do over the last few years is to destabilise European power in order to try and expand their own power. And literally that conversation there was full of that context. I'm not just adding that in. This is reality. So this whole Solar for Schools thing is great, but it's so interesting within the context of what's happening globally around energy and around our security, as well as from the perspective of climate. It's it feels like it's increasingly important. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Power. It's been amazing going back to school like that, and in fact, at one moment I was invited into the head mistress's office in one of the schools, and she said, "Are you the filmmaker? I'd like to see you in my office, please." And my heart just sort of started really beating. Like, it just reminded me of years ago when I was at school. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this episode, please do click like, leave us a comment. You could talk about what you think about Solar for Schools and the whole idea of how they're operating, and let us know the thing that you found most interesting about Solar for Schools' approach. And if you can imagine working with Solar for Schools in your area, leave us a comment and get in touch with us. Now, right now, we're entirely funded, or not quite entirely, because we're beginning to attract some funding from outside bodies, but largely we're fueled by our members. So if you're able to join and become a member of Power and become one of the powerful, you can do that at membership.power.film/enroll, ENROL. Membership's £12 a month or £120 for a year. You get your name in the credits, and I'll even give you a shout out in the next episode if you join now. And the other things that you get are a book club where we invite the authors to come and speak and read their book and do a Q&A. and we also have a power hour where we catch up with how the whole thing's going in the middle of the month. So, thanks again. Tell your friends about it. Join in, and we'll see you again in a couple of weeks. Many thanks.